Today, we are going to be making a tier list because I am so incredibly original. But before we start, I don't want to sound like every pretentious wannabe YouTuber ever, but if you enjoy this video, please consider subscribing. It's free, you can change your mind at any time, and it'll help you more than you could ever know. Alright, now let's judge some video game music. Now, it has been brought to my attention that this tier list is, just a little bit shit. Because if you notice, there are 2 of Far and no Ward. And no 5, but no 5 is typical. One of these Fars is going to be Ward, for the sake of convenience. I just want to get a couple things out of the way. 13 is... yeah, self-explanatory. Now listen, I took out the F tier, because I don't think any of the discs are F. Even if the disc is shit itself, it has the lore to back it up. Yes, I'm talking about 13. And so that's why 13 is in D. I would put 5 in here as well, but 5 is not here. But 5 and 13 kind of go together in my mind because, they're both D. D for dead discs, right? Technically 13, 5, and 11 are all in like kind of one group in that they're all dead discs. But I think 11's a little bit different because 11 actually has a melody. And so just to get 11 out of the way as well, we're gonna put it in C. Next is blocks. I have a very love-hate relationship with blocks because on one hand, it's a nice disc, but it's so fucking long, it like drags on. It's like Moby Dick. There are like specific places where it's like really, really good, but for the next 18 pages, it's just about fucking 1800s crustaceans. I think it's a solid B, honestly. I don't think it deserves anything more than B. B for blocks, it's okay. Cat! Listen, my relationship with Cat was my very first favorite disc. When I was a little child, when I was like 8, I think, I would go into Minecraft, I played Cat. I loved Cat so much. And honestly, I was based for liking Cat. Cat's such a good disc. Cat is like one of the best discs, honestly. Chirp! The thing with Chirp is the kind of disc where it's like, it's good in a very annoying way. It's like, it's good, but you don't want to say that it's good. Because normally you think it's shit, but like in that one point of vulnerability that you sometimes have, Chirp is like the comfort disc. So Chirp is a weird one, I think. I don't think it's anything above B tier, but I'd feel bad putting it with 13 and 5 because it's not like the same kind of level, I guess. So I think we'll put it in C. C for Chirp. Blocks is still better in my opinion. This first Far, we're gonna actually treat as Far, and Far is one of my favorite discs, along with Wait. But even though Far is my favorite disc, I can also acknowledge that it's not Cat level, but it's still good. Like, so I think it deserves a solid A tier. Far and Wait are kind of like interchangeable for me. I know they sound like completely different, but I treat them the same in my mind. So we're just gonna put Wait in A tier as well. Mall, my beloved. Mall is also one of my favorite discs. It comes down to like Far, Mall, and Wait, honestly. The thing with Mall is that I think it's better than both Far and Wait, but I don't think it's as good as Cat. I think, this is my tier list, my rules, so we're gonna make an extra column. So the next Far disc on this tier list, we're gonna treat as Ward. The thing with Ward is that I know a lot of people like Ward because it's so haunting, and I agree. I think it's very good, but it reminds me of horror games, and I'm not a huge fan of horror games. Ward is really, really good though, just from an objective basis. It just doesn't hit for me. It's not Cat. So this is me personally, right? So we're gonna put Ward. I understand that Ward is like really, really good, but I mean, just look at what we have next. It's Mellohi. It's Mellohi. It's Mellohi. Like, oh shit. It's Mellohi. Mellohi is like the disc, okay? In fact, I do think Mellohi is actually better than Cat from a very strict basis, but Cat has like sentimental value for me. I want to get these 2 black and white discs out of the way. Stall reminds me of a coffee shop. I'm talking like a hole in the wall, there's a bass playing kind of coffee shop. And honestly, I respect that. I like Stall. I like Stall a lot, actually. It's a funky disc. It's a very groovy disc. And it's a jam. Stall is a jam. A lot of Minecraft discs, I can't pronounce that word. A lot of Minecraft discs are are very nostalgic. I think that's probably just the quality of the game, honestly. But like, I don't think, for me, Stall doesn't really have that quality. It's more like, it's just a nice thing to listen to. I think I have to put it in like A at least. And Strat is very similar. Strat is less groovy and more just kind of like this fucking game, you know? I like both of them pretty equally, so we're just gonna throw it all in A tier. Other Side. We're gonna talk about Other Side first. I love Other Side. Listen, I know throughout this entire thing I've said like, oh, this is my favorite disc, or this is my favorite disc. Other Side is legitimately, if I only had a couple of spaces to pick a favorite disc, Other Side would fill at least one of the spaces, if not like more. We have 2 spaces just for Other Side. The way Other Side hits is in the beginning. When the melody just comes in, it like, you know? The only real complaint I have about Other Side is that I don't like the ending where it changes into like a little bit of like a minor key. But I can understand why that ending is there. I think it adds a lot more character to the disc. I just don't like it personally. I don't think that like minor change at the ending can really stop it from being an S tier, you know? And finally, we have Pigstep. Throughout this entire thing, I have said, you know, Far's my favorite disc, you know, Mall's my favorite disc, you know, Wait's my favorite disc. I want you to take that entire chunk of what I just said about my favorite discs and like fucking throw it out the window. Pigstep is the kind of disc where you listen to it and it transports you to another world. Other Side is similar, but it doesn't go as hard as Pigstep. And that's why I don't think I'm even doing Pigstep justice by putting in an S tier. I think we need an extra row just for Pigstep. Oh fuck, I can't spell. Pigstep is a disc that makes you ascend. That is like the best way I can put it. And that is the tier list.